Okay, so we're working on that book jacket project. It's not a book cover; it's a book jacket. So it actually is basically kind of a bigger piece of paper that folds to wrap around and bind, or like just to wrap around a hardcover book. Um, and you can it's one of those kind of jackets that you get on a hardcover book that you can take off, and then you could put it back on later. Um, but anyway, the reason I chose the book jacket is I think it's a little bit more challenging to set up. Um, and it has kind of a little bit more of a template to it to work with. So I'm just trying to get you guys used to working with templates and setting up your documents properly in InDesign, working from templates. And so here's the template here, the book jacket template. You can download this if you need to. But basically, here's the back flap, the fold line here. There's a little gray area that's about 0.375 inches wide that we kind of want to avoid putting any important graphics or text over. And then here's the spine. It's only an inch wide, so we have to take that into consideration when designing, how big is our text going to be? What's our book going to look like on the shelf? And is it going to be legible from a distance? Okay, well, let's begin setting this thing up in InDesign. So one thing I can do here is, I already have it kind of set up here but I'm going to actually size this window down so we can actually see. I wish I had a double screen, but I'm really wanting to, I have too many windows open. Sorry about that. Trying to be slick about this, but it's not working out. Just trying to make this small enough so we can kind of see the book jacket here on one side and my InDesign on the other, which is kind of hard. But so I did this in class earlier, and for some reason these were not showing up at all, and now they are. That's weird. Anyway, so if we do a file, new document, we're going to need to make this 20.7 inches wide. That's what all of these things equal up to. So if you add 3.5 to 0.375 to 6 to 1 to 6 to 0.375, 0.375 to plus 3.5, all of those equal out to 20.75 inches. And then it's pretty simple this way. It's 9 inches. It says right here. So we don't need facing pages checked because we're only going to do one page on this. And then we need to put a bleed of 1/8 of an inch on this thing. So if this isn't open, you need to open that up. And this should be, automatically linked, but just click one time on the top arrow here, and that'll fill in the top, bottom, left, and right. And that should be good enough for now as far as setting up the document. Then next you'll need to, make sure that your guides are showing up, because last time my guides weren't, but they are now. So if you don't have your rulers, make sure you're in Essentials Classic up here in the workspace. You might have to go to Window Workspace, Essentials Classic. You might have to reset Essentials Classic. And then if you do that, just make sure that your Properties panel is open. So you might actually have to go into Window and Properties and make sure that that Properties panel is open as well if you're in Essentials Classic. Because Essentials Classic does not have the Properties panel. But if you have the Essentials Classic open and then do a window properties, you can open the properties panel. So we have the pages area. We only need to doing one page, our links area, and the properties panel here. So anyway, make sure that your view, make sure your rulers are not hidden. So there should not be a checkbox by hide rulers. So from the ruler, we can click and drag out a guide and put that on 3.75. Or 3.5, excuse me, whatever that is. I might actually just highlight this, make sure it's blue, and then type in 3.5 and push enter. And that'll automatically put it on 3.5. Then we can draw out another one. Let's put 3.5 on that one as well and push return. And it's still selected because it's blue. Now let's do plus 0.375 and push return. And that'll actually add on 3.75 to 3.5. So now I have that second guide that will show me where that fold line and that area, that kind of gray area is on the template where we don't want to put any important text or any important images. So next up, we're going to basically take this in another 6 inches. So we'll take this to 3.875 and then go +6 and push return. And then we can go from here and do +1 and return. So you can kind of see what we're doing here. And then we can come from here and just bring this down. So if we're at right at the edge there at 20.75, we can subtract 3.5 inches, which will actually give us this line here. And then we need to draw out another line that's going to be at the same exact spot as this other one here. And then we can subtract 0.375, and that'll get us that other line. And so here's the template. We have, you know, the gray areas mapped out. We have the spine in the middle, and we have the bleed on the outside of the document. If I push W, I can see what my document will look like when it's trimmed. You may want to draw lines with the line tool where the actual guides are too, just to help you visually when you're designing tell. And you can push Option on your keyboard, click, hold down, and copy that, and just have it line up with the guides that you drew. At least I thought that's how you do that, but apparently for some reason that's not working. So I'm going to just do Command-C, Command-V with it to get a copy. But you get what I'm saying. I'm going to run out of battery in my computer here, but you know, you can line these up with the guidelines here and put all those in so that when you actually go to design and push W on your keyboard, you'll know where those fold lines are in your book jacket template. And I suggest that maybe, you know, you might want to do this, is, you know, dragging out these. Make sure that they're actually lining up really well. I'm not actually doing a very good job of making sure that they're lining up exactly. I think some of them are off a little bit, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to do here. So when I push W, I can really tell, you know, this is the front cover, this is the back cover, this is the, you know, the front flap here, and this is the back flap here, just like on the template. So, and then, you know, just do your file save as, you know, save that in your documents under Graphic Design 350, and then make a Book Jacket Project folder and save it as, you know, your first name, Book Jacket Project, save it as an InDesign file. And then, you know, that's basically where you would start with this project.